Night of Champions is 16 days away, and there's not really that much to go through, but there are two, and one of them does lead into the World Championship match that we talked about last time. But first off, let's talk about the Divas Championship match. Nikki Bella versus Charlotte. And for those who don't know, Charlotte is the daughter of the Nature Boy, Ric Flair. Now, Charlotte won this opportunity by a first ever Divas Beat the Clock challenge, which she destroyed Becky's time, I believe, in 1:40, which was very impressive. And Charlotte, a former NXT Women's Champion, and this is where that's why I kind of get confused of actually wanting to actually include this, because this Charlotte actually petitioned last night on SmackDown. Well, last night it was on Tuesday, but last night in the Kayfabe Wise on SmackDown, she petitioned to the authority to have this match even before Night of Champions, which that's why I was even hesitant on even including this match. But before we go into that, let's go to the horrible, stupid Bellatron. And for those who aren't aware, just think the Honkometer with Santino a few years ago. It's basically the same thing. And as of right now, Nikki Bella has held the title for 285 days. Only 10 days away from AJ Lee's reign a couple years ago. But here's where we get to the logistics of this. This is why this reign is somewhat important of Nikki Bella's. Nikki Bella, as far as combined reigns go, is the #2 overall, of course, passed by AJ Lee, of course, with a 406-day combined reign of her 3 title reigns, as Nikki's 2 reigns. I believe the last time she held the Divas title was in 2012 with 6 days. So yeah, that's why there's not that much there. As far as combined reigns, though, she's technically 4 days away from that. But this is where it gets crazy. When you go to the Women's Championship, as of right now, she is currently in the top 10. And the only reason I include this is because the Women's Championship was unified with the Divas title, and she would be almost in the top 10 at this point in that title regard, which is very unfortunate. But some people, in a way, are using all these numbers and mumbo-jumbo to say that the reason Nikki has held the title for this long is to surpass AJ Lee because of her being married to CM Punk. While that is true, AJ did retire and left on her own terms respectfully. Which is why I'm wondering if they are going to have Nikki even hold the title towards Night of Champions, because it's a little iffy. If this match was to happen on, say, a Raw before Night of Champions, because you do have a couple weeks before that event actually happens, and by that time she would have actually broken the record. Now, if you were to do this on a Raw, since it is petitioned to, it's been petitioned rather, then Nikki Bella would probably retain leading the Night of Champions. But it would be easier to say that this Divas Revolution needs to have an impact of some kind, and that would be by Charlotte becoming the Divas Champion and potentially bringing back the Women's Championship. It's a stretch, a long stretch in that point of view, but it could possibly happen. And finally, I don't know why that goes to Sting twice, but okay, a little glitch on my end, I guess. Regardless, the United States Championship will be on the line as Seth Rollins, the only man right now to have held the United States and Undisputed Championship, will defend against John Cena, as John Cena actually had his rematch clause still in effect, and as of on Raw last week, I would say last week, but a couple days ago, he actually cashed in the rematch clause. So Seth Rollins will have a very hard night because he'll defend both titles, as all championships will be on the line, which is very rare nowadays, but that's why it's Night of Champions. So this kind of impacts the decision for the U.S. title as well as the this honestly goes into the main event a little bit, because here's what I'm thinking here. John Cena loses the match, loses his rematch, so he can't have the title anymore, or get another shot at it at least. With that, that would be an easy opportunity for Sting to cash in on the double match there and actually win the Undisputed Championship. That's what a sane Booker would do at this point. But you do a Daniel Bryan in this case, and regardless of who wins the match, Sheamus cashes in and you become the new world champion. Well, that's one way of looking at it. The other way would be Cena wins the title back, which would totally negate anything from SummerSlam, and then have Rollins beat Sting. It depends on what you're going to do, but there is one option, and it's the option I honestly think could happen in this situation. Seth Rollins retains both championships and does something that we haven't seen since 2002, or at least 2001, when Chris Jericho defeated The Rock and Stone Cold in the same night. A lot of people have looked towards this option as the best option. I don't think it is personally, but it could potentially happen. And with that, Night of Champions is a couple weeks away, where every title will be on the line.